What's going on, my fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new episode of A-Plus Morphinominal, your weekly stop for your Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Tokusatsu news and reviews right here on our YouTube page, also streaming live over on Facebook as well, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for definitely joining us here this Saturday, enjoying your weekend and certainly kicking off your weekend the right way, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much for certainly joining me. We got a ton of news that we're going to be getting into, some Hasbro Fan First Friday that's upcoming. We'll talk a little bit about that. We got some Power Rangers on YouTube a little bit. We got a Mighty Morphin issue number 7 preview for you guys, and we're going to dive into some Tokusatsu news to go ahead and round off this episode along with your guys' live viewer questions. If you want to go ahead and figure out how to submit your live viewer questions in, feel free to go ahead and do so at any time at aplusmorphinominal@gmail.com. Again, aplusmorphinominal@gmail.com. You could submit your questions over anytime during the week or during our show. If there's any episode you watch, article of news you wind up reading, you want to further go ahead and discuss it and talk about it with us, go ahead and submit your questions over again to aplusmorphinominal@gmail.com, ladies and gentlemen. We'll definitely get to your questions at the end of our episode, just in case if for some reason we can't get to your comments. So while we do have ourselves a pretty full episode this week that we're going to be breaking down, hopefully it won't take us too long to certainly get through. I actually have a Texas Rangers game to go ahead and attend later on this afternoon. Really looking forward to it. I haven't been to a baseball game in maybe about 3-4 years. I feel like it's been a minute. So the weather's beautiful out here in Fort Worth, Texas. It's probably going to get into maybe about the 80s today. It's been pretty breezy also. So I'm hoping, even if we are at the stadium in the sun, I'm kind of hoping that this breeze that's coming through will definitely keep us cooled off a little bit. So I'm excited. Give me a beer. Give me some hot dogs. I'm ready to go ahead and watch a baseball game and have some good time with some friends today. So that's definitely what we're going to be doing after we wind up airing. But let me see who's in our live chat with us. Let's see who we have joining us live today. As always, hopefully we got some new faces around here. Johnny Marrero's in the house. What's up, Johnny? Good to see you, man. Noah Cummings certainly coming through. We got Blossom in the house as well. My brother from another mother, Adrian Perez, is in here this morning. Thank you very much for coming by, man. I'm Handsome Dude. Thank you very much. Good to see you as always. Power Rangers Legacy in the house representing. Adam, you know what time it is. It's morphin' time every time, man. Adam, we got another Adam in the house. He says, "Hey everyone, I'm new here." Well, welcome, Adam. Definitely fantastic. Almost crazy. We almost have the last name Perea. Very close. One letter off, my friend. But thank you very much for certainly joining us here. I hope you certainly stick around. We got Edward Sanchez Productions in the house today. AJ certainly coming through as always, followed by Frankie coming through as well. Datilla, thank you very much, Datilla. It's so good to see you in here today as always. Sunny Shields in here as well. He says, "Yo, that ball game sounds exciting." Yeah, it's been a while since I've been to a baseball game, so I'm really eager to go ahead and check one out today. Tony Robinson, what's up, man? Thank you very much for certainly gracing us with your presence today. We've got Raphael's in the house. What's up, man? Thank you very much for spending your weekend with us as well. And guys, if we have any stragglers that wind up coming in today, feel free to certainly just go ahead and make them feel welcome and part of the group as well. And of course, remember, guys, these are just simply always my A-plus opinions, but at the end of the day, I definitely want to go ahead and know yours. So let your thoughts be known in the comment section, in the live chat or the comment section after this particular video airs. If you want to go ahead and give your thoughts on some of the articles and things that we certainly talk about, but always remember, definitely respect each other's opinions, even if you don't necessarily agree. Who else we got in here? JB says, "What?" in the house too. Thank you very much, JB, for coming through, man. Good to see you around here. All right, guys. I think with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into some news for the day, shall we? Right now, I feel like we just had a Hasbro Pulse something a couple of weeks ago in regards to them revealing to us the Gold Ranger Jordan fight being on Dino Fury just before we actually wrapped up the season. We might have already had wrapped up the season when we had a Hasbro Pulse something for us fans, but they definitely seem to be coming back with more information for us. It's actually going to be solely a Power Ranger Fan First Friday that we're going to be getting here rather soon, and that's coming up, guys, May 14th, 2021. It's going to be this upcoming, I believe, what's that, a Friday, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, it's going to be absolutely next Friday for you guys. So definitely go ahead and mark your calendars. And anytime that they have one specifically for Power Rangers, they usually don't really talk about any other IP or property. They usually don't last too incredibly long for last time that I certainly remember. But I'm really eager to currently see what Hasbro definitely has in store for us here. I am kind of curious as to what they could be announcing that they couldn't maybe have announced just a couple of weeks ago when we wind up having just that big overall Hasbro Pulse moment. So I have been thinking about this all week long in regards to what they could possibly show us. I even talked a little bit with AJ in regards to some of his thoughts in regards to what we could potentially be getting in here. So let's kind of just throw out some of our hypotheticals and some of our speculation as to what we can certainly expect to see from Fan First Friday. Again, when we just had one, what else could they certainly be getting? So I will say this right off the bat. It is interesting to me that Brian Goldner, the CEO over at Hasbro, when they had their Q1 call, what was it, last week? I think we talked a little bit about this. One of the things that Brian Goldner mentioned in that Q1 call was the fact that they had TV shows and the film going to a platform that they were going to announce very soon, is the words that he wind up using, very soon. I joked a little bit about the idea that Chance Perez maybe jumped the gun a little bit in regards to his announcement for Dino Fury Season 2 maybe going to Netflix, right? I'm very much under the belief that Chance Perez knew exactly what he was talking about, spoke the truth, but maybe spoke it a little bit too early, a little bit too soon. So for me, outside of Lightning Collection stuff, because I mean, let's face it, right? Like it's Hasbro. If it's not a new wave of Lightning Collections, then maybe it's a wave that just was released just recently. Who certainly knows? Lightning Collection will certainly be a part of this, and any cool figures and toys and collector pieces that Hasbro's working on, that will definitely be a part of it. As far as what else will be a part of it, I am kind of under the impression that if, again, this is all speculation. I have not heard anything, but I would speculate that maybe they would announce the idea of Dino Fury moving to Netflix come season 2. We are in sort of the middle of the hiatus for season 1, right in the middle. I think this would be a really great way to at least notify people like, hey, the rest of season 1 on Nickelodeon, but season 2 will in fact be on Netflix. Now, whether or not that's an announcement that they would want to hold off until maybe as we get a little bit closer, or if you want to start getting people's mindset ready for that change as of right now. So if I had to speculate, with Chance Perez revealing that information to us about Dino Fury on Netflix, Brian Goldner coming out the previous week also mentioning the idea that they were going to announce things for Power Rangers when it comes to TV series and film going to a platform very soon. I feel like maybe this is just a combination of what they meant. Maybe this is where that announcement was certainly going to come. So if I had to speculate, Dino Fury to Netflix season 2, Lightning Collection pieces as well. And I wouldn't be surprised also if they went the route of letting us know that they're moving more Power Rangers to YouTube in regards to some of the past announcements. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jungle Fury has just recently been announced or has been posted up there, episode number 1. So if anything, I would probably expect Power Rangers on YouTube announcements to be there. If not, a further clarification like, hey, Dino Charge is up on Power Rangers Kids official YouTube page. We've got Dino Thunder now over on the Power Rangers official page on YouTube, not the kids one. And now we've got Jungle Fury there as well for you guys. So I would not be surprised if we get further Power Ranger YouTube announcements there as well. So again, Lightning Collection, Power Rangers to YouTube announcements, Dino Fury to Netflix for season 2. Another thing that I'm actually really hoping that we wind up getting, it's another news article that we just talked about last weekend as well. The idea that Power Rangers and Reebok are in fact collaborating, that we're going to be getting ourselves some brand new kicks to represent the Power Rangers, some for adults, some for kids as well. I believe they're set to actually start launching those shoes May 15th. So the very next day after Hasbro Pulse's Fan First Friday. So if anything, maybe I'll throw that in there in regards to some speculation in regards to what we could be having announced for us. So again, Lightning Collection stuff, Power Rangers on YouTube, maybe some further announcements of series, Dino Fury to Netflix, and then Power Rangers and the Reebok collaboration. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that they announce some of those. And I'll even go one step further, talking a little bit about Dino Fury and that possible reference to what Brian Goldner was certainly talking about. A part of me is kind of hoping that maybe Dino Fury, maybe they also announce that instead of just Dino Fury going to Netflix. One of the things that I've been very adamant about and tend to be a big believer about, and you guys certainly don't have to agree with me at all, the idea of the film itself maybe actually going to a streaming platform as well. Again, Brian Goldner did say we gave both the TV series and film that we'll talk about going to a platform very shortly. And so a part of me thinks if Brian Goldner wants to make that announcement very shortly, maybe that Dino Fury to Netflix is one of them, and maybe the idea of their film going to a particular streaming service maybe might be another one. I don't know if we'll get like synopsis details or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we get some announcements in regards to Power Rangers going over to some streaming services. So we'll definitely have to see. But again, those are just some of my speculation. You know, I feel like sometimes when it comes to Hasbro Pulse, we don't always get these ginormous sort of announcements. But I feel like maybe we're building up into something here. You know, we are getting into the summer hiatus now, summertime. We've only got one half left of Dino Fury's first season to certainly drop. I feel like this summer is probably a really great time period for Hasbro to really start announcing some of their future plans for the franchise after that, because of the fact that there is so many questions, especially in regards to the Nickelodeon contract that ends at the end of 2021. I just feel like with this huge gap of time from the Dino Fury sort of season finale to its premiere once again for the second half, I think this is a very opportune time, if anything, for Hasbro to certainly go ahead and make these massive announcements. Again, one for the future of your franchise in regards to the Power Ranger film maybe being placed onto a streaming service, and then the present of your Power Ranger franchise in Dino Fury being on Nickelodeon for the remainder of this year and then moving on to Netflix. I think those would be some really stellar announcements that we could possibly get. Again, this is just my speculation. Maybe you guys think I'm hoping for too much when it comes to Fan First Friday. Sometimes when I'm going over these notes, I'm thinking to myself, damn, Adam, you're expecting a lot to certainly happen here. So maybe again, I don't want people to think that I'm going into this with huge high expectations of getting all this. This is just me speculating of some of the things that I personally would want to see. If we walk out with literally just a Reebok collab news, Lightning Collection, and maybe Power Rangers to YouTube, okay, that's cool. I mean, that'll give us something to talk about, but a part of me is really eager for Hasbro to certainly unveil, take the cloak or whatever off of it and just unveil it to the world as to their future plans. Although I'm pretty sure Brian Goldner and the rest of the team will be very, very smart about how they reveal some of their information. So I think just little tidbits of this isn't giving too much away, right? We haven't heard too much from Jonathan Entwistle or Brian Edward Hill, who are certainly working on the project themselves. I feel like it's been a minute since we've heard anything about Jonathan Entwistle. And I will even say this, guys. While I haven't talked to anybody, I don't really know what's certainly coming down the pipeline or anything like that. But I do know that just going through some of my subscribers on YouTube, one of the posts that I did see actually did come from the Illuminati, saying that they weren't going to have a Ranger wrap up this week, but get ready for next week. I bet there are going to be some amazing announcements. So the fact that they're hinting at the idea that maybe there's going to be some amazing announcements for them to go ahead and wrap up and talk about next weekend makes me think that maybe there's something big sort of headed our way, if you will. So again, like again, you know, the Illuminati may be hit or miss for some of you guys, right? Whether or not you believe them. Illuminati hasn't really said what they expect to be announced, but if they're hinting at something, a big announcement coming, then maybe that is Dino Fury moving to Netflix, or the film moving to a streaming service, or whatever the case may be. Who certainly knows? But I'm eager for it. If it's Power Ranger centric, I'm definitely going to be there for it. So I'm looking forward to some big news, looking forward to seeing Loretta Masters again, and really looking to see what temptation Lightning Collection can give to me to hopefully become another action figure collector. But we'll definitely see what we wind up getting here. But guys, I want to know your thoughts when it comes to Fan First Fridays. How much are you anticipating it? What are you looking forward to them announcing? Do you think they'll announce any of the things that I've mentioned? Definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see what some of you guys are saying before we even move on to the next topic. I kind of curious to know what you guys say. Datilla, she says, I heard when Jungle Fury got posted onto YouTube, posted it as Jungle Force. Yeah, I heard that too. Wouldn't surprise me though. Would not surprise me at all. Let's see here. I believe it was somebody mentioned the idea. Noah says, I think just toys. I wouldn't be against the idea of them announcing just toys, but I think for that, it's one of those things where it's like, do we really need a Fan First Friday for just the toys, right? Like, if you've got a new Lightning collection, is that the only thing that we're gonna utilize this Fan First Friday for? So I definitely agree with you, Nick, in the sense that toys will definitely be there. I don't know if it's going to be just toys, though. I don't know if like something like that, I feel like you can announce other places instead of a Fan First Friday, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll definitely have to see. Frankie's pumped for Fan First Friday for sure. Johnny, he says, new surprising lightning figures for Robo Blaze, Quantum Ranger, RJ, the Wolf Ranger. That would be pretty cool. And Snide. I like your choices, man. I like your choices, Johnny. That looks like that would be a killer pack, man. Adam, he says, do you think the show will come back early or have an episode be available online? Like Twitter in the past, they released new episodes early by getting lots of likes. I'm not expecting an episode or at least like Twitter to bring available episodes available online or early like that. I'm not expecting that. Do I think that the show will come back early? I don't know. Maybe that's one of the announcements that will that will wind up getting in here. I have absolutely no idea. I'm not expecting it to come back early, Adam, though. The fact that we had a hiatus, just like normal when it comes to Nickelodeon, I unfortunately am just expecting Nickelodeon to continue to do their things the regular way. You know what I mean? Blossom says she's saving up for her Lightning Collection version of Kai. Kai was my lost Galaxy crush. I'm sure it's coming, Blossom. I'm sure it's coming for sure. Blossom says, Reebok having Power Ranger shoes, sweet. Yeah, check it out, L'Oreal, if you get the opportunity. We talked about it last weekend on our weekend show of APlus Morphinominal. One of the topics we talked about was Power Rangers and Reebok's collabing, even showcase the shoes that they wind up having. Again, some of them, I think some of them are for adults, but majority of them are in fact for kids. But definitely go ahead and check it out. Adrian says, do you think Fan First Friday will announce season 2 moving to Netflix officially? I personally think so. But I could be wrong. But I'm under the impression. JB says, "What?" Says, when is the movie even coming? Has it started filming yet? No, it has not started filming yet. I don't even know if they've done their casting, to be perfectly honest. Again, I'm not saying that the announcement of the film being moving over to a streaming service is going to give us like a release date or anything like that. I just think maybe they might make that announcement in general. Like maybe they've made a new deal with Netflix that's going to harbor some of their new series and films. You know what I mean? Like an announcement sort of like that. Something that maybe it's a licensing agreement that they've come up with either Netflix or Amazon or Paramount Plus or whatever the case may be for future shows. So I'm kind of curious if maybe that's the type of announcement. So I don't even know when the movie's coming as of yet. I would assume maybe it's 2023 if they play their cards right. If they, if they stay on track, if you will. But we haven't heard any further development, right? We've had the movie move from Paramount over to Entertainment One. We've had a new writer come in for the script in Brian Edward Hill. We haven't heard anything from Jonathan Entwistle in quite some time. So I don't even really know what the situation in regards to the film is even looks like at this moment, besides the fact that Brian Goldner has talked highly about the idea that it is certainly one of their main focuses and something that they certainly want to release and bring to the forefront. So we'll see what happens. But no, it has not started filming as of yet. Datilla says, I'll be honest, I haven't bought any of the Lightning collection because I've been busy. I've been buying past Power Ranger figures like the Loot Crate figures from eBay. Oh, very cool. I didn't know you were a collector also, Datilla. Very nice. Usai says, I kind of just want a dope animated series announced. Hyperforce with GoCast as voice actors would be sick. That would be pretty sick also. I mean, we haven't heard anything from Hyperforce since season 1, right? I feel like it left people just kind of on the edge of their seats wanting more. So that would be pretty crazy if Hasbro's like, look, we took one of your favorite RPG Power Ranger teams and created an animated show around them. I think that would be pretty cool too, Usai. Although for me, the animated wise, I still want my anthology series for Power Rangers, but hell, I'll take whatever they certainly want to give me, right? It doesn't say we can only get one Power Ranger series. I mean, maybe one Power Ranger animated series at a time, but that would definitely be something I would be up for, Usai. I don't know if that's something that they're going to announce, but we'll definitely see. That's a great suggestion for them. Datilla says, I always miss the Fan First Friday panels because I am at work. Yeah, I can understand that. I do have the luxury of working from home. So, while I am working, I can maybe have it on the screen behind me or whatever the case may be and kind of just watch it as I go along. You know what I mean? So it is a little bit easier for me to go ahead and keep up, another YouTube, on my phone or whatever the case may be while I'm watching it or while I'm working. So, but yeah, if anything, I would expect it to at least be available to be watched after you get off work if you want to go ahead and catch up. I'm sure by then you've probably heard all the announcements that probably have already come out of it. But yeah, definitely go ahead and check it out if you get the opportunity to do so. But guys, again, I definitely want to know your thoughts. What do you guys think Hasbro's certainly going to go ahead and announce at Fan First Friday? Definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, ladies and gentlemen. And with that out of the way, we will go ahead and move on to our next topic, which I think we kind of tumbled into a little bit already, talking about Power Rangers moving over to YouTube. I know it was a big shock to many. It was definitely a big shock to me when we found out that the past Power Ranger seasons were being removed from Netflix. I think the only ones that are certainly still remaining is MMPR. I believe Ninja Steel is still up there, Beast Morphers, and then I think, of course, Dino Fury will certainly go there as well. Is there any other series of Power Rangers up there? I can't recall. I have dabbled in some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as of lately, but yeah, it definitely took a lot of us by surprise about the idea of Power Ranger seasons being removed, and we heard from a Fan First Friday from Hasbro also that their plan is to move a lot of those past seasons over to YouTube. And it looks as though this is coming to us from the Nick Fan Club over on Twitter, saying that Power Rangers YouTube availability update: after just 5 episodes of Dino Thunder posted, the YouTube channel has posted Jungle Fury's first episode. Welcome to the Jungle Part 1. Previously, Dino Thunder and Dino Charge's first 2 respective episodes were posted as one. So we are starting to see Power Ranger seasons being added to YouTube. Now, it's not the full seasons. They are dropping them in episodes, if you will. So again, right now, the 3 seasons that they definitely do have on the Power Rangers Kids official YouTube page is Dino Charge. On the actual Power Ranger official YouTube page, they do have Dino Thunder there with 5, or I think they might have just uploaded a 6th one. I could be wrong. Dino Thunder is up there, and Jungle Fury. And as you recall, just from what Datilla wind up saying, that they accidentally, I think, posted originally as Jungle Force or something along those lines, or at least that's what some of the things that I was reading on Twitter, which I found pretty humorous. But I will say this: while I am certainly glad that Power Rangers has moved to YouTube, I think probably financially, this is probably a much better setup for Hasbro than it was certainly on Netflix. But I said this back then when we talked about this. I think this might have been like the February 13th episode of APlus Morphinominal when we talked about this being moved over to YouTube. One of my biggest concerns that I had was, hey, I'm great that Power Rangers past seasons are going to find a home, but how long is it going to take for us to get these seasons, right? I was not expecting back then that they were just going to drop the full seasons on YouTube, and I'm not expecting them now to do the same thing, considering just what they've given us so far, right? One of my worries was, how are they going to do this? Are we going to get 1 episode a week? Are we going to go back and forth from one season to the next? Are we going to drop just random episodes like 4 and then 12 and then 13? The release of these episodes are as slow as they come, like molasses, a snail, a turtle. I mean, it's all over the place how slow this certainly is. And I'm kind of curious as to what their sort of mentality is in regards to releasing Power Rangers on YouTube. I am wondering what's keeping them from just releasing all the episodes at once. But I will say this, for me, now that it is on YouTube, I really do want to start doing some watch-alongs with you guys. I already have some thumbnails and everything already created for a Dino Thunder sort of watch-along, maybe like 4 episodes at a time, if you will, like a two-hour mark, or hour and a half, or 2 hours worth of your guys' time, just sitting down maybe once a week and doing some Power Ranger watch-alongs with you guys, or at least as new episodes wind up slowly trickling out from YouTube here. So I will say this: while I was definitely excited for Power Rangers on YouTube, my biggest fears have in fact been confirmed, that this was going to be a trickling out sort of situation, and I'm taking forever to get some of these seasons on here, right? One of the things I says was, hey, if you're a fan of Mystical Force, I can't help you, right? Like if you're a fan of Mystic Force, I can't help you. I don't know when that season is going to drop. It's definitely not like Netflix, where they just dropped all the episodes all at once and all the seasons were just there miraculously. This is definitely going to take some time to get all 28 plus seasons of Power Rangers on there. So patience is definitely key. So I just find that really interesting. That our fears at least certainly were confirmed in that sense, that I think we kind of called it a little bit as to how we were expecting these episodes to drop. But we'll see. Datilla says a watch along would be fun. Yeah, I think I've got a watch along set up for like episodes 1 through 4 of Dino Thunder. I need to test my OBS studio because when we did do live watch-alongs on our previous YouTube page, I was using my OBS studio a lot combined with YouTube studio, and I haven't utilized that in a minute since I've been doing since we actually started this new channel. We've been using a lot of StreamYard to go ahead and stream our stuff, but I always found it really convenient when we did live watch-alongs. Like StreamYard and OBS, I use great for like filming a lot of my reactions and then posting it. But as far as live watch-alongs, I probably will have to do a test on my OBS system once again, just to make sure that everything runs smoothly, that we're not having it drop a lot in the middle of watching something live. You know what I mean? So I probably will try and do a little bit of a test run this week. So if you guys are on YouTube and you happen to see like test pop up or a live feed start or something like that, that's me just trying to make sure that all the kinks are worked out before we do these live watch alongs. But that definitely will be something for us to definitely dabble into for sure. But yeah, listen, I want to know, have you guys checked out any of the Power Ranger episodes that have dropped on YouTube? I mean, I'm seeing like a couple 100,000 views for some of these videos. Like, I really would like to know what the comparison was as far as viewership when it was on Netflix compared to viewership where it here on YouTube. Like, I'm pretty sure they probably maybe got more eyes on Netflix, but I am kind of curious if with 100,000 views for each of their videos that they're certainly getting, like, what's the monetization rate that YouTube is like how much is YouTube paying them right now to post ads and to monetize their stuff? Because I'm pretty impressed. And I will say this, I am kind of curious too as to how they're making the determination of what goes to Power Rangers Kids YouTube and what goes to Power Rangers YouTube page. There's a huge discrepancy in regards to subscriber count. Like, when it comes to Power Rangers Kids, it's nowhere near what the actual official Power Rangers YouTube page goes. So I am curious as to why their choice was, let's move Dino Charge to the kids site and the other series to the actual official site itself. I am still scratching my head as to why they're not posting it also on Hasbro's YouTube page, which has like a couple million subscribers. But this is better than nothing, to say the least. I like the move to the official Power Ranger page rather than the kids page itself. And a part of me kind of wonders, like, are we going to just stake the Neil Saban stuff and stick that on the kids page because it is kind of kid-like, and take some of these older seasons of Power Rangers from the Disney era and the original Saban era and maybe move them to the official Power Rangers page? I would like to know who makes those type of decisions and really what goes into making those decisions also. But I want to know what you guys think. How have you liked the transition from Power Rangers to YouTube from Netflix? Has it gone as smoothly as you guys certainly thought? What seasons are you certainly patiently waiting for? Again, I think it's going to be a minute before we get full seasons here, guys. So patience definitely will be a key. But definitely let me know your thoughts in regards to how you have felt this transition has certainly gone so far. And let me see what some of you guys are saying in the live chat before we move on. Johnny says, I want to see more Dino Thunder episodes. Yeah, I think right now, again, it's only episodes 1 through 5, I believe. But I wouldn't be surprised if they start trickling them out just weekly. You know what I mean? Blossom says, seeing the Rangers via YouTube is way more affordable. Good point. Good point. If you guys don't have a Netflix account, this is probably an easier way and more affordable for people to go ahead and check it out. That's a great point, Blossom. Let's see here. AJ says, I think Hasbro should stop moving them to YouTube for a while. They're doing a poor job lately. Why are they taking so long to put everything? Again, that's one of the reasons why I would like to know what their decision making is or what their plan is, right? Like, is it beneficial for them monetarily to each episode to get a certain amount of views, people follow along instead of all dropping it down at once, right? Like, I'm wondering if maybe it's just, maybe they fear that it's not bingeable that way because there's so many episodes. I am kind of curious. But I will say this, AJ, I don't think they should stop moving them to YouTube for a while. Like, the idea of stop moving them to YouTube for a while just means it's going to take us longer to get to those seasons that you certainly want to definitely go ahead and get to. So if anything, definitely continue, Hasbro, please, and maybe pick up the pace just a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Johnny says, it seems like after 5 to 12 episodes, they move on to a different after the new Ranger introduction episodes, but we need more Dino Thunder episodes. And I'm sure will probably drop. I am kind of curious if, like you said, though, Johnny, maybe after the first 5, then they maybe go on to another series, right? Like, I do think Dino Thunder will continue to trickle them out a little bit, right? Now that we've got Jungle Fury, maybe we do get 5 episodes or so of Jungle Jungle Fury, and then, clearly Dino Thunder is on to episode 12, Jungle Fury up to episode 5, and then boom, then they release another series of Power Rangers, right? Like maybe that's what they're in intricates, like maybe that's how they're releasing it. We'll see. Jordan, what's up, Jordan? Good to see you, man. Thank you very much for certainly stopping by today. JB says, what? Thank God for having them on DVD. I will say this. I am bougie when it comes to my movies, guys. I'm just going to be real with you. I'm bougie. I don't own a single DVD anymore because I'm just a Blu-ray guy at this point. Like I need that top quality. You know what I'm saying? That top shelf quality. Although Blu-ray at this point isn't top shelf. I think that's like 4K. I don't have that type of money to be buying a 4K TV right now. But if anything, I would really love to see have they been released on Blu-ray? I would definitely love to know if any of these have been remastered to Blu-ray quality at all. If so, maybe I'll actually go ahead and pick up some of the Blu-ray versions of these seasons. Jordan does say he's about to start Mystic Force for the first time. Enjoy, my friend. Definitely let me know what you thought about it. It definitely, I didn't mind the season. It wasn't one that floored me particularly, which I was a little bit bummed about because I love knights and dragons and magic and all that great stuff. It's a season I personally do want to go ahead and revisit as well, Jordan. So maybe it'll hit me differently a second time around. But I hope you enjoy it, man. Enjoy it to the fullest, and definitely let us know your thoughts after you go ahead and check it out for yourself. Tony Robinson says, Adam, if Hasbro announces the movie next week and it's not Mighty Morphin, will you be surprised? Yeah, I would be surprised. It would be a welcome surprise. But yeah, I would be surprised. Jordan says the DVDs can be pretty cheap on Amazon. That's definitely good to know. Again, I don't mind, I don't mind an easy and affordable way to watch Power Rangers, but again, I don't mind it on Netflix, but as far as owning it, I rather own a Blu-ray or something a little bit higher quality than DVD. But again, that's just me. That's just my personal bougie reference. I'm just being honest. So Rob says, seriously, do you think RPM will go to kids, Adam? No, I think RPM will go to Power Rangers official YouTube page. All right, guys. All right. Other than that, though, I think it is time for us to go ahead and move on to the next one. Jordan says, I thought I was a Blu-ray guy until Netflix dropped Power Rangers. Yeah, I mean, listen, I was perfectly okay watching it on Netflix, but since it's not on Netflix anymore, if I am going to watch it, I mean, look, I don't mind it on YouTube, but I think as far as me as owning it, like if I were to own the Power Ranger episodes, I would definitely have to own them in like a Blu-ray or something like that. So hopefully if they ever release them out on Blu-ray, then maybe I'll go ahead and purchase them. Otherwise, I'm just going to watch them on a streaming service or on YouTube, to be perfectly honest. All right, guys. With that out of the way, we will go ahead and transition over to our next topic for the day. And our next topic is, in fact, going to be in regards to Boom Studios, as we have our era of unlimited power from Boom Studios. I don't know. Guys, I apologize. I go into that voice all the time because I'm a big Star Wars fan. Anytime I've heard anybody say unlimited power, it's coming from the voice of Darth Sidious himself, Emperor Palpatine. So anytime I see that, that's immediately where my head goes. And I've got to do it in his voice each and every time. If you guys have ever seen Revenge of the Sith, quick shout out, probably the best out of the prequel series. But going into some Boom Studios talk for you guys, we do have a preview of an upcoming Mighty Morphin issue number 7, guys, and take a look at this fantastic cover that they've wind up putting together. I mean, Lord Zed and Zordon himself face to face. I mean, just look at the back muscles of Lord Zed, man. Just incredible stuff, to say the least. But I love this artwork. And I've actually really been enjoying the Mighty Morphin series. Even the Power Rangers series itself has really taken off and done some amazing work, especially with the introduction of Astronema along with Ecliptor as well. So they're definitely pulling no punches, to certainly say the least. But Mighty Morphin 7 is set to go ahead and drop this upcoming week, guys. So definitely make sure to go ahead every Wednesday on New Comic Book Day. Go ahead and support your local comic book store. But Mighty Morphin issue number 7 is certainly headed our way as we continue along with the storyline, as we get to continue to see Angel Grove continue to be trapped by Lord Zed. We had a massive cliffhanger in issue number 6, if I'm not mistaken, of the idea of possibly the Green Ranger on the side of Lord Zed now, working alongside Goldar, now having to face off against a regrouped Power Ranger team that has made their way back into Angel Grove and now has the assistance of a fellow Eltarian in the one of the Guardians of Eltar, certainly set to go ahead and help them out. So I'm definitely expecting a big brawl when it comes to episode or issue number 7 here between both of these forces. So I do want to go ahead and bring up an article here for you. This is just a preview for what we can definitely go ahead and expect. So let me go ahead and bring up some of these preview images for these pages here so you can go ahead and check them out for yourself. But it says, first look at Mighty Morphin issue number 7 from Boom Studios. Discover the shocking battle with the new Green Ranger in the era of unlimited power in May. So it says the exciting new issue in the era of unlimited power features the new Mighty Morphin team versus the new Green Ranger. But whoever's left standing will have to deal with Lord Zed's shocking machinations and his even more surprising ally. So yeah, Lord Zed is certainly going above and beyond to go ahead and take out our Rangers this issue for sure. He definitely has a huge scheme that he's certainly working on behind the scenes. And I'm kind of curious to see how this is all going to play out. I mean, we've got the Zordon storyline from the past that we've seen his journey so far as a Guardian. We saw them bump into sort of Rita's castle on one of the moons that they were certainly exploring as well. So I am kind of curious if Ryan Parrott has something going on here with where the Zordon storyline is going, may in fact sort of connect some of the end pieces to maybe Lord Zed's plan also at the end of the day. I would be kind of curious to see how these two storylines are definitely going to connect even further than what they certainly already have. And we continue to get the fantastic artwork from Marco Arena here as well. Just really popping off the page with some amazing colors as well. I mean, just seeing the sequence from this preview page alone of the White Ranger facing off against the new Green Ranger, Tommy versus Matthew. Just I'm here for it. I'm really here for it. So I hope we get some discovery in regards to a little bit more of how like how the Green Ranger even came under his spell. But Lord Zed is certainly not messing around at all. He definitely seems to have a really formidable plan, and I'm really eager to see how this is all going to actually turn out. So remember, guys, we do reviews for Power Ranger comics. They are available as early access videos to our Patreon. So if you are a patron supporter, you do get these Power Ranger comic books early, and then that weekend we do release them to the general public and for our fellow subscribers. So if you want to go ahead and get a leg up, definitely go ahead and check us out over on Patreon. But we definitely will be bringing you the review for Mighty Morphin issue number 7 when that issue winds up dropping this week. So definitely go ahead and check it out for yourself if you guys haven't done so as of yet. And if you are checking out the Boom Studios comic books, what have you thought about them so far? Are you enjoying this new era that we're certainly in when it comes to Power Rangers comics? Definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm really impressed with what they've been doing personally. Like, I know some people will, complain about the fact that maybe Boom Studios isn't canon per se. I do think the fact that Simon Bennett and Dino Fury and Beast Morphers and stuff, that they've made so many references, I feel like so far, to Boom Studios and just the comic books, it almost feels like they're almost making these stories in Power Rangers canon with how they're pulling everything off and so seamlessly and just amazing storytelling. I've really enjoyed what they've been able to do so far with Boom Studios. So I don't know how long their contract is with Boom Studios, but a part of me is really hoping that regardless if their contract expires, I really hope that they definitely continue to renew with Boom Studios, because I think they've been doing some amazing work in regards to just some catapulting Power Rangers into a new era and stratosphere and just some great storytelling. So I am kind of curious to know what you guys think in regards to that also. Let's see here. All right. And with that out of the way, I will say this. I see some of you guys talking a little bit about the Power Morphicon online. Has had tickets gone on sale for it virtually? And when is it? I definitely want to go ahead and know for sure. Let me see. Sarav says, I think the comics can introduce a character arc for Rita as to how she became the Mystic Mother. Ooh, that would be pretty neat. I would be really open to that also. I don't know if they're at that point as of yet in the comic books. I feel very much like we're still very much into like season 2 and 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers right now in regards to storytelling purposes. And then if anything, we probably have the Omega Ranger storyline that's kind of dabbling into very early in space sort of references, if you will. So maybe eventually somewhere down the line they definitely will. But I think that would be a great idea, Sarah, for sure. I think that's a really great kind of storyline they could really sink their teeth into if they wanted to. Blossom says it's okay, Adam. I can't blame you for your unlimited power thing. I can vouch. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that at least one person doesn't find me too awkwardly weird. So that's good. Let's see here. And Datilla says, in regards to Power Morphicon online, she says, I think it's June 12th through the 14th. Oh, that'll be right around the corner. Damn. Okay. Power Rangers Legacy, it says, I think some stuff are canon to the TV shows. Excuse me. I think only some stuff are canon to the TV shows from the comics. Some of the things we got in comics don't make sense to me, like the future version of Zach meeting his past self or multiple Tommies. I don't think Zach, Jason, and Trini really became Omega Rangers. I just don't see it. Sorry, guys. That's okay. That's certainly not a problem if you don't see it. Like for me, I can definitely see it. And the only reason why I can see it, I mean, granted, we don't really know like the time period between when Jason leaves to how he comes back when it comes to him in Zeo becoming the Gold Ranger, if you will, right? Like I feel like there's plenty of story to definitely be told between that time period. But considering the fact that Jason, Zach, and Trini just left and we didn't have any word from them at all, I think for me it easily fits into canon. But again, that's just simply me. But I definitely want to know what you guys think for sure. And JB says I think June 19th to the 20th. That's another date. I'll have to go to the website and check it out real quick. Let me actually see if I can pull that up right now. Power Morphicon 2021. Do they have a damn, even the Power Morphicon site has Power Ranger Dino Fury coming to Netflix on April 30th. They posted that April 30th. Is there a date on here? Let me see. Exhibitor info. Yeah, it says PMC Online 2021, on site 2022. Damn, they're gonna make me scroll through this whole entire. They're just putting up a ton of announcements, registration, attendees. I'll have to look it up later. I won't waste your guys' time. All right, we'll see here. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic. We're going to transition Adam, I can't speak today. Over to some Tokusatsu news for you guys today. As this article of news actually came out maybe about 2 weeks ago or so. I was debating whether or not I was going to go ahead and post and talk about it, but I didn't over the past couple of weeks. But I wanted to go ahead and tackle it today, and that is in fact Ultraman Trigger. It says Ultraman Trigger New Generation Tiga coming this July. So we have a July set for a brand new Ultraman series in here. You know, we've been debating as to whether or not we would get into some Ultraman. Ultraman Z, I think, is probably outside of the Netflix series that we wind up getting. Ultraman Z, as far as live action goes, Ultraman Z caught my eye. It is a series that I unfortunately did not watch, but I might actually try and watch and binge before this July Ultraman Trigger winds up actually being released, so I can at least get caught up to current Ultraman Z to see how they're currently doing things this year. But Ultraman Trigger is certainly a series that I am debating if we should even bring to our channel or not in regards to reviewing. It sounds fascinating to me. I'm not familiar with a previous incarnation of this series, unfortunately, but I am really looking forward to learning a little bit more about it. But let's go ahead and dive into this real quick. This is Ultraman Trigger. This comes to us from Tokusatsu Network, where they talk a little bit more about this particular series. So let's go ahead and get some details here. It says they've announced that the broadcast of the new TV series is going to be starting July 10th at 9 a.m., which is known by fans as Ultraman Day. So July 10th is Ultraman Day. The new series was conceived as an homage to Ultraman Tiga, which celebrates its 25th anniversary this year, and will have veteran Tokusatsu director Sakamoto as the main director. The overall theme of the series is wanting to make everyone smile. That's the theme. Okay. Here's the story, though. The story for this season: 30 million years ago, the world was engulfed in terrifying darkness, but that darkness was sealed deep in space by the Giant of Light. His power spent, the Giant of Light sleeps in the Red Star and is forgotten to time. The Terrestrial Peaceable Union hurries to gather the expert team Guts select, while Kengo Manaka lives peacefully on now colonized Mars as a botanist. However, his peaceful life certainly comes to an end one fateful day. The darkness that the ancient civilization sealed away breathes once more. As a monster bears down on the Martian settlement, Kengo's fate leads him to a chance encounter with none other than the sleeping Giant of Light. How will Kengo's meeting with the Giant of Light influence his destiny and the destiny of Earth? The Giant of Light is reborn after an eternity. His name, Ultraman Trigger. Okay, that sounds actually pretty interesting to me. Actor Raiga Terasaka will play Kenjo. Here's a photo of him also. The 21-year-old host of Ultraman Trigger, described as kind and hard-working young man, but with a fiery sense of justice that spurs him to protect people's smiles. Kengo will transform into Ultraman Trigger by inserting a Guts hyper key into the handle of the Guts spark lens. Okay. Like Ultraman Tiga before him, Trigger will have 3 modes that he can switch between in battle. The balance of multi-type, which is the strong red power type. Multi-type, the red type, and then the sky type. Oh, excuse me. I'm just fucking this all up. Hold on. The balanced multi-type. Okay, that seems like that's maybe his standard form. The balanced multi-type. The strong red power type. Okay, so that's the second one, the strong red power type. And then lastly, the speedy blue sky type. So he does have his 3 forms. Trigger will also use the circle arms weapon in battle, which changes between the multi-sword, the power claw, and the sky bow forms as well. So yeah, we get to see some of the, let me pull this down here, some of the forms that they're showing us as well. Will this let me go back? So that's his regular type. This is his red type right here. and this is his blue type. As you can see, he has the same weapon, but it's and this is his regular type, the multi-type. So his regular weapon, and it looks as though his blades wind up separating to create just sort of brand new weapons for him, which I think is actually pretty neat if you ask me, honestly. So that's our look at Ultraman Trigger here. That's set to go ahead and debut July 10th on Ultraman Day itself. So I'm actually really looking forward to that, guys. So yeah, I'll definitely check out the first episode, and then we'll just kind of go from there. If it's something that really tickles my fancy, maybe I'll go ahead and actually review it for you guys. If you guys would love to see some Ultraman reviews here on APlus Morphinominal, definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, ladies and gentlemen. And with that out of the way, we will move on to our last two topics for the day before we go ahead and get into your guys' live viewer questions for the day. Let's see here. AJ sounds, I'm assuming this director is super familiar. Sakamoto, fan favorite stunt director of Power Rangers and Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. Oh, very nice. Okay. All right, let's see. And then our next topic, this is for you Kamen Rider fans out there. It seems as though I'm going to talk to Stuart too, because Stuart did our review for Kamen Rider 01 Real Time, and I know he's been doing a fantastic job on his Kamen Rider Saber reviews for you guys. But it seems as though when it comes to Kamen Rider Saber, there's a movie that's certainly coming and definitely headed our way, guys. This is Toei Tokusatsu Fan Club announces Kamen Rider Saber and a Kamen Rider Ghost crossover, which I find really interesting here. It says a unique new Kamen Rider series has been announced by the Toei Tokusatsu Fan Club streaming service. It says Kamen Rider Saber will be meeting Kamen Rider Ghost for a special new cinematic adventure. As this crossover unfolds, Kamen Rider Saber will receive a unique new form based on the Kamen Rider Ghost icon powers. A brief teaser for the new crossover has been released. It's just a 30-second 30-second trailer. So let me see if I can share this with you guys, so we can at least see what this looks like a little bit, shall we? I do love this Kamen Rider Saber suit, and the Ghost actually looks pretty dope too. I kind of dig the jacket hoodie combo that we have here. But yeah, this is just a little brief 30-second clip. Wait a minute, was that Kara Major Pink in here? Was that Sayo that just popped up in here? I need to go back to this. Wait. Yeah, that's, I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, okay. Great action here. I think they even showcased to you that new form for Saber with his, his new form right there based off of a Ghost's icon. So that looks like May 23rd. That's going to be headed your guys' way. So definitely keep an eye out on that. Here's a couple of other quick shots. If you guys want to go ahead and get a shot of that Kamen Rider Saber and Ghost icon combination that they've wind up creating here with these two forms. So that's a close-up shot of Kamen Rider Saber in that icon form. And then they have a full body one for you guys to certainly check out also of Kamen Rider. So I'll talk with Stuart. I don't know if he's dabbled in Kamen Rider Ghost or not, but this may be something that he wants to maybe review for you guys at some particular point in time. So again, that's going to be March 23rd. It looks like it's being released. But yes, the Kamen Rider Saber and Kamen Rider Ghost crossover. So you let me know how excited you guys certainly are for it. Have you checked out the Ghost series? What have you guys thought about the Ghost series so far? Heck, what have you guys thought about Saber so far? I've heard some things of it starting off slow. It's turned out to be great so far, but maybe I'm wrong. What do you guys think of the series so far? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. Oh, we got a new straggler in here. here. What's up, Ram Jam? Certainly coming through as always. Thank you very much, man, for certainly being here with us today. Ooh, Blossom, thank you very much. She says Karame Pink was in Kamen Rider Ghost before Karame. You know, I did not know that. So thank you very much for clarifying that for me. I'm not a Kamen Rider, you know, I don't want to say not a fan, but I definitely have not dabbled in the series at all. The costumes are great and all, but I haven't really sat down to watch a series itself. So that is news to me, Blossom. So thank you very much for informing me about that. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad to see that she wind up getting work again, but that makes sense. Going over from Ghost then to Karame, and then now here with this crossover, it feels like it's coming full circle. But I'm glad that you're liking what you're seeing. You also say, so psyched for the movie. I never saw Ghost, but I'd like to see them and Tomo work together. Well, you're gonna get it for sure. You're gonna get that team up as well. And I know you are collecting some of your Wonder books as well, so you've got a impressive collection going so far. But guys, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about this crossover event? Are you hyped for it? What do you think about the costume you've seen so far? Definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, guys. And last but not least, we are going to get into some Zenkaiger news. That's right, guys. Well, not necessarily news, more so rumors. You know how this goes. Take it with a grain of salt, please. A grain of salt. But this gives us an opportunity to talk a little bit more about Zenkaiger, especially after this past week's episode, as we got introduced to Zox Gold Tweaker along with his sister in Flint, as well as their two little twin siblings in Ricky, along with Katana. So we get to see the whole group here, a whole family, I should certainly say. But we do have some Zenkaiger rumors into one of these particular characters. So this actually came to me from the real Matt Hunt over on Twitter. I believe he got this, or I don't know if he's the one that posted this rumor or if he got this from rangerboard.com, if I'm not mistaken. But here's the rumor. Again, grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen. But it says, new Zenkai rumors. Please take this with a grain of salt as they are rumors. Spoiler tagging in case they are true. Flint will transform in the upcoming summer movie. She will use the gear to linger to do it. It is also rumored that her color would be silver. Her number may be 0, and she will use the gear to linger in sword mode when she transforms, which wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if anything, if it's still continued to be based off of Gokaiger, you know, the idea of it having a sword or of some kind wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, we've even seen Zox Gold Tweaker in one of his forms for his Shinkenger form use a sword mode as well from his gear to linger. It does say, though, that if this is true, it would point to the Geki Joben gear as her transformation gear. This and most of the other special gears give the special sound effects in the gear de linger. The Geki Joben. Okay, interesting. You know, I wouldn't mind this. I wouldn't mind this at all. I feel like some people have already hinted. I mean, look, we're 9 episodes into this season, and we've already been introduced to not only all of our Zenkaiger members, but we've also been introduced to Stay Caesar. We've also been introduced to Gold Tweaker here in Zox, the Two Kaiser himself, and now we've got his sister in Flint. Right? I mean, we've gotten introduced to so many characters within just a short amount of time. I'm looking around thinking to myself, like, we still have like 40 episodes to go. I don't know if Zenkaiger is blowing their load this early, or like and have nothing else to show for it, or if the remainder of the season is just going to have more debuts than we could probably even handle, honestly. So this idea of Flint turning into a Zenkaiger herself or some sort of form would not surprise me in the slightest. I think it actually would make perfect sense if her brother is in fact gold, the fact of her being silver, right? I mean, I feel like we know when it comes to Toei, they love the colors of gold and silver when it comes to an additional Rangers. I personally would like to see some other colors here, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, look, we even saw Flint this past week literally pull out like a freaking revolver, like a freaking pirate gun, if you will, which is all silver. So maybe that winds up becoming one of her weapons. Maybe that's a little bit of a hint of a future color that maybe Flint is going to occupy herself. But if it's going to come in the form of a summer movie, that's great. I don't necessarily want it to be just a one-off, though. You know what I mean? Just for the summer movie, it would be cool if it's something that became just a norm for them. For the remainder for the actual season itself. But I kind of dig this grain of salt rumor that we have here. I can easily see it happening. You know, I would love to see it even be further inspired by the Gokaigers. Like, can she use her pistol and a sword at the same time, like our fellow Gokaigers have certainly done in the past? So I kind of dig this. I kind of dig this again. And my only complaint would just be if it's in the summer movie, that's great. Can I also get it in the series though, right? And I feel like when it comes to Zenkaiger, they've been doing some really great things. I mean, we've had the Zenkaiger movie before this series was even released, which we still haven't gotten in English subs at all. And if anything, we've also seen a two-part sort of mini series take place in between this series as well. So it seems as though Toei is taking liberties to do things significantly different. And a part of me actually would love to see, like, if they wanted to do another two-part mini series, I personally would love to see a story about Tu Kaiser along with his sister, to kind of see what their past was like, how they infiltrated Toji Tendo. Like some of those flashback sequences that we've seen, I would love those sequences to be part of a greater story for these two characters, because of the fact that they're shrouded in mystery. And when we've got 40 plus episodes still to go, I don't see why we couldn't tell their story within one of those 40 episodes or another two-part miniseries somewhere. I like when Toei gets really creative with how they tell stories, right? Whether that be a two-part miniseries, whether that be a crossover, whether that be in a movie, or even a four-part miniseries that we saw similar to Super Sentai Strongest Battle a couple of years ago. I like when they take their liberties to do things different and switch things up. So maybe Zenkaiger will be a season that has subsequent miniseries within it, you know, to kind of get the full all the information or whatever the case certainly may be. But we'll see what happens when it comes to Zenkaiger. I just know we've gotten so much in a short amount of time that I'm just really curious as to what else that we're going to get. So this idea of Flint possibly becoming another Ranger for this team in regards to Silver would not surprise me in the slightest. But again, take it as a grain of salt, guys. What do you think about some of this news here? Are you for it? Are you against it? Definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so far when it comes to Zenkaiger, enjoying the series. The first few episodes, enjoyable. Nothing to knock me on my ass or anything like that, but I definitely feel like since episode number 7, it's definitely has taken off. So I am kind of curious if they're about to really sink their teeth into some storytelling here, after we've gotten, I don't want to say now that we've gotten some of the humor out of the way. There's always going to be humor and chaos when it comes to Zenkaiger, I certainly feel like, but maybe now that we've introduced some people, maybe now it's time for some storytelling. So we'll see what we wind up getting. But I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think so far of Zenkaiger. How has this certainly hit you? What do you think about some of this news? I definitely want to know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. Let's see here. AJ does say, oops, I had the wrong one. Sorry. AJ says, Geki Jobin, like is in Geki Ranger. Yes, I'm assuming so. AKA Jungle Fury or Geardlinger, as in Go Rangers, aka RPM. No, I'm assuming Geki Ranger. I'm pretty sure it's probably a combination of Geki Rangers combination. Does that mean she'll be a hybrid of RPM and Jungle Fury? Possibly, maybe. But I definitely feel more Geki Ranger, maybe with some influences of other things in there as well. Going back to the Kamen Rider thing, AJ says, I love that. I love that in Kamen Rider, the suits are like body armor. Yeah, that's one concept that I've always loved about Kamen Rider for sure. AJ says Zenkaiger. Never thought I enjoyed Zenkaiger this much after a rocky 6 episodes. Keep it coming. Yeah, slow start, but it feels like it's picking up for sure. Is the feeling that I'm getting. Marcelino, what's up, Marcelino? Hey, Adam, I'm sorry I'm late. Just playing with kittens. I might change my name in the future. Hey, no problem, Marcelino. Enjoy the cats. Hope I grew up with mostly cats my whole entire life, and now somehow I'm surrounded by 8 dogs. So yeah, I don't mind cats. But I'm glad that you like the Marcelino. Yeah, they just have too many different personalities for me, man. I never know when they want to be petted, when they want to claw my eyes out, when they want to ignore me. They definitely are their own creature for sure. Adam, what's up, Adam? He says, I've only seen a few episodes of Zenkaiger, and it's pretty cool. My only issue with it is the comedy. The action sequences are excellent. Yeah, and it just depends on what your comedy level is like. I feel like when Super Sentai hits, it hits differently every season, right? Ninja, I felt like was a very overly comedic season. It definitely was not for me. It's not a season that I was a big fan of. I don't mind comedy. I love laughing, guys. See, I love laughing. I got a list of great comedies that I love to watch. But sometimes I like my Sentai series personally with, maybe a little bit more drama, a little bit more storytelling focused, a little bit more character driven. But some seasons will just be full on comedy more than others, and that's okay. It definitely hits people differently, and some people love those type of seasons, and some certainly don't. So not every season is certainly for everybody. But I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. I'm not the biggest fan of all the comedies in Zenkaiger, but there are some really hilarious things in there. Like I love even though it tends to be chaotic and a ton of commotion just going on, when it comes to our Kikainoids, I enjoy the dialogue though. Like the dialogue does have me cracking up sometimes. So I do think there are elements of the comedy that certainly work, and others that don't, especially when it seems like it's like the show is kind of lost or the episode has lost focus of what it wants to be. So sometimes that kind of stuff can get under my skin a little bit. But for the most part, I have enjoyed it for the most part. Yes. So yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from in that regards, Adam. Sam, what's up, Sam? Good to see you in there. He says, hey, Adam, you okay, mate? Did you have a great day? Yeah, it's been a great day so far. I'm going to be going to a baseball game here within the next few hours, so it's going to get even better. AJ says, I'd be down for Flint to be a ranger. She and Zox would be a cool brother and sister Rango duo like in the past Sentai and Power Ranger seasons. That would be great. Yeah, I would love to absolutely have her as a have them as a brother sister combination for Super Sentai. That would be pretty legit. In the meantime, let me pull this back up while we keep talking about these guys. Frankie seems to like the show. He says Zenkaiger, pretty good TV show. Yeah, I've enjoyed it for the most part. For me again, it definitely has picked up. I'm still a much bigger fan of Kira Major. That definitely did hit me a lot differently than Zenkaiger certainly is. But again, every season is certainly unique and different in its own rights, and everybody's going to like a season differently from the other, I feel like. So I am interested to see where Zenkaiger is going to go from a rocky start to a couple of great moments so far in the past like 3 weeks. So I'm really eager to see where this season definitely goes. All right, guys, and I think that's actually going to wrap it up for all of our topics here today. But if anything, now is the time to go ahead and transition into your guys' live viewer questions, guys. That's right. We're going to go ahead and get into your questions. Maybe check out some of your comments. Datilla's headed out. She says, I have to go run some errands. Great show. Been enjoying my time here. Well, it's been a pleasure, Datilla, to certainly have you here. So thank you very much for joining us today, and enjoy the rest of your weekend for sure. Hopefully we'll see you next weekend. Definitely. All right. Let's go ahead and do this, guys. Oh, Blossom, real quick. Zenkaiger is okay. The red one is cool, but still not as cool as my sweet Babu. Talking about Kaido and Juru. Yeah, I still prefer Juru for sure. But Kaido's growing on me for sure. I love his relationship with Jurin out of all of them, honestly. And I really want to continue to see his growth as far as his search for his family goes. Definitely. And DHR2 Production says, I would bet you they will announce new Power Ranger content. Oh, that would be interesting, DHR, for Fan First Friday. I'll be here for it. I definitely hope that's the case. All right, guys, let me go ahead and pull up these because I do believe we got quite a few. Emails. So let's see what we can. Damn it, Adam, I keep hitting my Google Maps button instead of. Okay, there we go. I see L'Oreal snuck in her question in time. Perfect. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do this. We've got a few to get into, so let's see how quickly we can get through some of these. I'm handsome, dude. Says, you know how Time Force, Lightspeed Rescue, SPD, and RPM were some of the more mature dark seasons of Power Rangers. Do you think that if Super Sentai did not do them, then our adaptations weren't be what they become? Why do you think Saban at the time and Disney allowed these seasons of Power Rangers to be dark and mature? I think a couple things. One, I feel like they might have been under the impression or knew that kids aren't stupid. That kids, probably every once in a while deserve to be pushed a little bit, have their brains pushed in regards to storytelling and things like that. Some really important life lessons. You can learn a lot of lessons from just dark and mature episodes. I mean, I wouldn't say that, when you say dark and mature, I mean, clearly no blood and guts and things like that, right? But definitely taking some context that I think that, probably maybe outside of the age range for them to kind of focus on a little bit. But, I think kids do like to be scared a little bit. I do think they like that idea of intensity from what I hear. I don't have a kid myself, but from what I hear, I have heard that some kids do like to be scared or have scary monsters or creatures on the screen type of thing. So I don't think that I think they probably took that into account and maybe just really wanted to push their audience a little bit. If Super Sentai didn't do those, would they? He says, do you think that if Super Sentai did not do them, then our adaptions wouldn't be what they become? I mean, who knows? We may not even gotten them in the first place. So thank goodness Super Sentai did do those, right? If anything, who knows what they would have turned out to be. But, we got them at the end of the day. But I just think, if anything, they probably just decided to because they just realized that kids can handle that type of stuff, regardless of how dark and mature it was during that time period. So I don't think that they were worried too much about that. Would you like would you like to do a series review recap of Dino Fury while it's on hiatus? Yes. As of next weekend, we are going to do a best of Dino Fury for you guys next weekend. So taking down some notes, been revisiting the series, the first 8 episodes once again. Probably gonna do things like best Jane and Jayborg moment, best morphing sequence, best fight sequence. If you guys have any suggestions of what you guys would like to see, my mindset very much is towards the end of the Dino Fury series, I would like to do just an awards, like I don't necessarily awards giveaway, if you will, but I would like to do a little mini Power Ranger awards ceremony. I don't know if I'm going to call it the Grid Awards. I got to come up with a catchy name for it, but I would like to come up with some sort of awards for like best actor, best supporting cast member, best ranger, or again, best Jane and Jayborg moment, best morphing sequence, that type of thing. I really would like to do it. So my mindset is, since we're getting these technically, it feels like in fourths, like season 1, part 1, season 1, part 2. We'll see how they do things when it comes to Dino Fury on Netflix, if we still get them in parts But I think after every little mid-season finale that we have, I probably am going to do like a best of. So next week we will be having sort of some best of moments for Dino Fury. Well, I will go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a series review so far. And what other seasons of Power Rangers that you've enjoyed a lot in the past, or even Sentai, you would like to also do a series review and recap? So my struggle is when I want to watch Power Rangers, my mindset immediately goes to I want to share these with you guys, right? Sometimes it's hard for me to wrap my head around the idea of just sitting down and watching a season and then just doing a review. Like I like watching each individual episode and then doing a review or a reaction to it for you guys and seeing some of your thoughts, and then maybe at the end do a gigantic review. So I haven't really, if anything, I might do that with future Super Sentai seasons. I might do that. But we'll see. I am still playing around with that idea of just actual reviews for seasons. We'll see. We'll see. Just because I like just going down, because I just feel bad. I don't know why. I feel bad watching Power Rangers without you guys. Like if I watch an episode, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I probably got to do a review for this, don't I? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. What was your reaction when in Mighty Morphin Season 2 in the Wild West episode arc, Tommy fought his Green Ranger clone? And were you surprised when in Dino Thunder, Tommy fought all his past Ranger forms except for Turbo Red, establishing that TJ owned the turbo powers for good? Well, I will say this. I don't recall Tommy fighting his Green Ranger clone in the Wild West arc. Or are you just asking what was my reaction? Could you say what was your reaction in Mighty Morphin Season 2 in the Wild West episode arc? I'm wondering if this is like three separate things, maybe. I don't know. Because I don't remember Tommy fighting his Green Ranger clone in the Wild West arc. I remember that being a lot of Calamity Kim and all of our Rangers talking in country accents. Although I will say this, listen, Hasbro, if you're listening, if you have the gall to release Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures in their glitter formations, in their metallic forms, there's no reason why we can't have a Wild West Mighty Morphin Power Ranger collection set. I need to see these Rangers in cowboy boots, the little frills on the side, the bandanas around the neck. I'm gonna need those in Lightning Collection form. Can we get on those pronto? Just a suggestion. But yes, it was a weird arc for me to say the least. I do find it interesting because I just rewatched the episode too. I did find it interesting that Zordon, first off, the fact that these are your great grandchildren. And he even says these were the first humans, I think he mentions, to utilize the power coins, which, we'll see what Canon says about that, Zordon. Yeah, you might want to talk to well, he's not technically not human. He's an alien Rafcon from planet Rafcon. So maybe you're onto something there, Zordon. But yeah, as far as seeing Tommy fight against his past Ranger forms, I thought that was the coolest thing when I first saw it in Dino Thunder. I was like, yes, please give me more. I really love that episode. It blew me away. I was not expecting that at all. But I thought it was pretty neat, man. I thought it was pretty neat. Let's see here. A couple questions from Adam Perea. What's up, Adam Perea? He says, hi, I'm new to APlus Morphinominal, but I watched a brief of your videos, and they're cool. I hope I get my questions answered, and you shall, Adam. Here we go. What do you love about Super Sentai compared to Power Rangers, and do you wish both could have a team-up episode in any form? Yeah, I would love a Power Rangers and Super Sentai team-up. I truly would love that. I think that would be pretty great. Bringing the East and the West power together, boom, into a huge explosion. Yeah, why not? What do I love about Super Sentai compared to Power Rangers? Well, I always have loved their storylines. I've always felt like Super Sentai takes bigger swings at their storylines and characters than Power Rangers does. I feel like while some of these recent Super Sentai have been maybe driven a little bit towards kids, if you will. I do feel like past seasons of Super Sentai, for the most part, has always just told the story that it's always wanted to tell, right? Power Rangers kind of suffers from the idea of it having to be an adaptation. Also, on top of that, their mindset of writing to 4 to 6 year olds, so they already kind of take that bump down in storytelling and character work. So I've always felt Super Sentai has always had that leg up on Power Rangers. So those are just some of the things that I've always loved. I always felt like they take true swings at the things that they certainly want to create, with really no fear at the end of the day. So I've always loved that about Super Sentai. What do you think of Power Rangers Dino Fury so far? While the show was on summer hiatus, what stood out to you compared to the past seasons in Neo Saban era? I've loved what I've seen so far in Dino Fury. I truly have. I do think it's even a step up from Beast Morphers, which is something that I had been saying previous. I've been telling people for a while, like, if you love what you saw in Beast Morphers, get ready for Dino Fury, because it's just going to get a little bit better in regards to storytelling, them taking more chances with some of their characters and things like that. And we've definitely have come to see it. I feel like they're upping their game a little bit in regards to storytelling. Things aren't necessarily as black and white as they certainly used to be from the Neo Saban era. And I feel like they're definitely taking some creative chances in here for sure that Neo Saban, Saban probably would never have dared to do during his time, if you will. So I think I've loved it so far. I think the characters have been great. Seeing how they've introduced not only the characters, but slowly introduced the Zords. The fact that we've given Void Knight a pretty good storyline so far, and added a little bit of mystery and humanity towards to his character at the end. Right, he's not just your copy and paste villain who just wants to take down the Power Rangers, if you will. All of our characters have really great sort of individual personalities on screen. They come together really well also. I mean, God, we haven't even talked about the action and Bert Selling's fantastic work when it comes to musical composition. Heck, we haven't even talked about Becca and Alwyn stepping up their game. Like, you're trying to tell me these are the same writers from Ninja Steel? No way. I wouldn't believe you at all. But it just goes to show you just how much the creative chains really were on a lot of these people that worked behind the scenes for Power Rangers prior to Hasbro sort of coming on board. So I think Dino Fury's been excellent so far. I love the fact that they're taking their time and revealing the sixth Ranger that they haven't given him to us yet, that they're waiting on the second half for that. So I think they're definitely being smart with this season, and a lot of that has to go to Simon Bennett and just doing a fantastic job as showrunner. So I think Dino Fury is willing to take a lot more chances. I've loved what I've seen so far. Do you think by the news of Power Rangers Dino Fury second season headed to Netflix, what do you want to see in future Power Rangers seasons that come after that would make Power Rangers as a whole stick out even more? And are you afraid that the franchise may become like Marvel or DC when it comes to making shows, then falling off, and plus even making movies in the same level, like Hasbro become very confident over time? So let me answer that first part first. Do you think by the news of Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2 headed to Netflix, what do you want to see in the future Power Rangers seasons that come after that, that would make Power Rangers stick out as a whole even more? Well, to be honest with you, and this is going to hurt some people's feelings, and again, I understand it. Get rid of Super Sentai footage, I think would certainly make it stand out on its own even more, make it stick out that we're not utilizing that type of footage anymore. So sticking to more original footage, 100% original footage Power Ranger content, I think that would certainly help. I would also think maybe changing up the storytelling formula might help also. Every episode, it's here's a situation, here's a life lesson, here's a monster of a week. They morph, they fight, they defeat the monster, they have a Zord battle. Yay. Every episode. I think changing up the formula would certainly help significantly. Whether that be they remain 30-minute episodes, whether they expand that to 40-minute episodes. I don't think, maybe not a Zord battle every fight. Let's really work on building these story arcs, maybe over a certain amount of time. Maybe not go the 40 episode route or 50 episode route a season. Let's go maybe 15 episodes a season, if you will, maybe 13 to 15. Just tell a really great focused storyline. Be creative with it. Those are the type of things that I definitely would like to see. Now again, that's probably more Jonathan Entwistle stuff. If we're talking about like kids television show, again, 100% original footage. Hell, keep Simon Bennett on board. Let him continue to do things. Like if they want to keep the kids stuff formulaic in the way that it's always been doing, but just 100% original footage, I would be completely okay with that also. And then still giving us that Jonathan Entwistle, more adult themed Power Ranger stuff on the side that does have a different formula. That fits maybe more that scheme of what's popular these days on, say, a Disney Plus or a Netflix or an Amazon Prime. Most of these shows are going for like 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, I think they could probably still pull off 30-minute episodes of Power Rangers if they wanted to. But I think if you do shorter episodes maybe still give me longer episodes, but maybe not 40. If you go the longer episode route, then maybe give me anywhere between 13 to 15 episodes a season. I would be perfectly okay with that if they want to go that route. As far as you also say, and are you afraid that the franchise may become like Marvel or DC when it comes to making shows, then falling off, and plus even making movies on the same level, like Hasbro becoming more confident over time? If things are received well, I would love to see Hasbro take take Power Rangers into that Marvel or DC realm, if you will. It's all going to come down to who's running the camp. I think Marvel is successful because it has somebody like a Kevin Feige. I think DC has been disheveled because it doesn't have somebody like a Kevin Feige, that loves these characters, that loves this lore and those characters, and knows that DC universe, to make back-to-back bangers like the Marvel MCU certainly has, especially with its television shows. I think it has a lot to do with who the creative processor is behind the scenes that that's creating this world. Is Jonathan Entwistle as invested into Power Rangers as, say, a Kevin Feige is into Marvel? Is he going to have those same creative juices to be able to tell great stories for Power Rangers going forward? I think if they find somebody that or a combination of some people that can work with Power Rangers that way, then maybe we'll get to that point. But if it becomes like that, then no, I'm not afraid. I feel like if anything, that would be the goal. I think any franchise would love to be Marvel or DC franchise. They would love to get couple 100,000 and billions of dollars at the box office. So no, if you're asking me if I'm afraid that they're going to become franchises like that, no, I'm pushing Hasbro to make the right decisions so that Power Rangers does become those type of franchises that become mainstream once again and start living in pop culture, and not just MMPR that continues to live in pop culture to this day, but now newer versions of Power Rangers that leave that kind of same imprint, if you will, like Marvel and DC's doing. So no, I want them to get to that particular point in time. Adrian Perez has got a couple questions. What past Power Ranger seasons do you think was a huge letdown compared to its Super Sentai counterparts? Or if Super Sentai was the exact opposite. Well, for me, the first thing that comes to mind is Super Mega Force. Just a complete letdown of the Zenkaiger season. To be perfectly honest with you guys, like Super Mega Force should have honestly have had its like Zenkaiger should have had its own adaptation, if you ask me. So yeah, that was a massive letdown. Do you feel that Dino Fury had a huge impact? Have made a huge impact so far? And what if Saban was still in control? Do you think it would like all the other Neo Saban seasons? Yeah, if Saban was still in control, Dino Fury would not be where it's at today. So yes, I do feel Dino Fury has had a huge impact, and all of that is just due to the cast and crew and Simon Bennett. What power up or weapon from Real Soldier do you hope to be used in Dino Fury? And what do you wish would be created just for Power Rangers that we have not had in a long time? So as far as power up and weapon from Real Soldier, I would like to see the Excalibur, the Real Soldier Excalibur formation, or form, I should say. I do hope that comes into fruition for Power Rangers. I would love to see that. Just that long cape, great looking sword. Yeah, give that to me. As far as what do you wish would be created for just Power Rangers that we haven't had in a long time? You know what? I've been I want to see some damn weapons, guys. I want to see some weapons brought back to Power Rangers that's unique. That's not just a sword and a blaster. I miss the Rangers having their own unique weapons from time to time. The Dino Dagger was great appearance for the first episode. We haven't seen it since then. So can I get the Dino Dagger again sometime? That would be great. But I would love to see unique weapons brought back. The javelin that we saw Tessa Rao or Izzy using as the Green Ranger. I would love the javelin to be her weapon, or a bow staff or something like that, right? I would love to see that make a return. I want to see unique weapons given. Like, I've just been on this roll with Go Ranger that I'm just thinking to myself, give me a whip as a Power Ranger weapon. Give me a boomerang as a Power Ranger weapon. Give me the bow staff or the javelin back. Heck, I'll even take nunchucks. We've done nunchucks before. Give me nunchucks again. And I'll take a sword. I feel like a sword is such a staple for Power Rangers. But I would love to see unique weapons brought back again for individual Rangers outside of just the similar blaster that everybody uses, or whatever the case may be. I do miss those unique weapons. My name is Carl's got a couple questions. Rank your favorite female Rangers into one team. So I did see this question beforehand, Carl, so I did go ahead and prepare for this. So I've got 6 ladies that I would love to have form as my Ranger team here. Some of these Rangers definitely stick out to me as not necessarily some of my, I wouldn't necessarily say they're all my favorites, but ones that I really, in high regards to, really consider them extremely great Rangers. Whether or not it's a season that I loved or didn't, or whatever the case may be, but 5 female Rangers that I would love to have on one team if you were to ask me. First and foremost, we're just going to go with Lauren, Samurai Red. Give me a female Red. You guys know I'm a big supporter of female Red. So I would love to see Lauren finally get that shine. We saw her dabbled a little bit in Power Ranger Samurai. We even see her a little bit in Shattered Grid. Give me her as my team, on my team for sure. Also on top of that, more current, Tessa Rao. I need me some Izzy, Green Ranger female on the team. I would love to put her on the team as well to go ahead and round out my team a little bit. And then one of my fan favorites, one of my favorites just in general, Miss Erica Hill is Jen. I would love to have Jen, Pink Time Force Ranger, on my team also. I think just with her leadership skills that she's showcased, all the crazy shit she's been through in her life, just extremely formidable Ranger, and somebody I would love to have on my team. I'll even take Tori from Ninja Storm on here too, if we want to go ahead and fill that Blue Ranger section as well. Always love Tori. Ninja Storm for me was a series that blindsided me, that I wasn't really sure what to expect, especially with it being a Disney season. But damn, I was hella surprised, especially with the idea of just 3 Rangers to go ahead and start off the season. I did really enjoy Tori also. And then for my 5th Ranger in here, just to go with some Yellow Love. While I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of this season, she definitely stood out to me. and that's going to be Gia from Megaforce for sure. I always loved Gia and Jake together. I always loved her. I always kind of saw Gia as even the second in command on that team. To be perfectly honest with you, just the way that she kind of commanded the screen that she was certainly on. There were a couple of other people that almost had this spot. Like, I think I almost gave it to Summer from RPM. Also, there were a couple people in here again. These are just there's a ton of people that could take these places, but these are just the 5 that certainly came to mind that I thought would make a really powerful team. So I got Lauren, I've got Izzy, I've got Jen, I've got Tori, and I've got Gia. And honestly, I would like to add to a 6th Ranger, because the Power Ranger team is not complete without a 6th Ranger, guys. And I'm going to take a little bit of a swing here. And when I say I would love my 6th Ranger to be Kimberly Hart, but not just any Kimberly Hart. I need that Ranger Slayer Kimberly Hart to round out my team of female Rangers here as my 6th Ranger. So yeah, again, Lauren, Izzy, Jen, Tori, Gia, and Kimberly. Those would be my favorite female Rangers into one team. What did you enjoy about Tokuger? And do you think it would have been great Power Ranger adaptation? If we got it, you prefer if Hasbro or Saban were in control? I mean, if we were to get it, Hasbro, okay? If we were to get it, Hasbro. Tokuger had a couple things really going for it. First off, just quick honorable mention. Shout out goes out to Ticket. Love you, Ticket. First hand, love the idea of just a freaking hand puppet alongside the conductor as mentors for this group. I thought that was brilliant. I love the idea of it being taking place like sort of in the kids' imaginations, right? This a world of imagination that only kids could see, that adults certainly couldn't see. I thought there was something really creative about that idea. The storyline itself, I mean, damn. I mean, if the ending of Tokuger don't make you cry or tear up or well up a little bit, I just don't know if you got a pulse. But no, I loved it. The characters were great, but it wasn't even so much the heroes that did it for me as so much as it was the villains of that season. I thought they had some really spectacular storytelling purposes for a lot of those characters. Some of the descent that took place for our villains also. Even some romance, which is fascinating to me. Like it was just so well sculpted and so well put together. That is definitely a series that I certainly recommend. But I also love the fact too, great weapons, by the way, right? We're talking about weapons just a minute ago. Great weapon choices of weapons. And also the morphing sequences I thought was pretty cool. Like, it's just so funny to me. Like, when you look back at Tokuger when it was first announced, just the pushback that so many people had to it when they first saw the suits. Oh, these are ugly. They're so simple, right? But when you see them in action and their morphing sequences and stuff, it aligns so incredibly well and it works so incredibly perfect. And just the idea of being able to change out your trains to change out your colors and things like that, really cool, especially to see like a pink male ranger. I thought was really fascinating and really fun also. So the season just had a lot of fun with itself. Some really great creative choices, some unique choices, and great decisions when it comes to its characters and its villains, especially for like its 6th Ranger too. I thought was pretty compelling stuff. So yeah, Tokuger is one that I continue to love. My name is Carl also asks, why is it that Mighty Morphin was the only series that the actors were actual martial artists and gymnasts, and why we don't have actors like that anymore in Power Rangers? I don't really know. I mean, I feel like some of them do dabble nowadays in that type of work. Not everybody comes out a martial artist or is that athletic though. So I don't know why they don't go back to that. I mean, it's funny because half the time I feel like when we watch these audition tapes, there are a ton of really gifted athletic auditions out there that just don't get picked. And I'm thinking to myself, why? Like, why aren't some of these people getting picked? But I guess maybe it's maybe they want people with less experience, I really don't know. That's a good question. My name is Carl. Were you aware that during Power Rangers season 1, the actors did all of their stunts, even in their suits, before Saban hired the Japanese live action or live show stunt team from Japan, according to the former producers of Power Rangers? I did not know that. I did not know that. I was always under the impression that they still had stunt doubles back in the day. Maybe I'll have to go back and check then, just to look at the episodes itself. I had never heard that. Jessica Friedman's got a question. Which Red Ranger would you like Zato to meet one day? And would you like to see Omega Ranger movie one day? Omega Ranger movie one day? No, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. Which Red Ranger would I like to see Zato to meet one day? Coda. I would love him to meet Coda. Just another somebody else that's been trapped in time, if you will, right? Frozen in a stasis, comes from something million years ago. I feel like maybe they have something in common. Maybe they have a little bit something in common there. The fact that Zato fought for his world at one point in time, I think that would be pretty cool to kind of see. AJ, he's got a couple questions. Someone asked this already on. I'm confused. Someone asked this already, so why are we highlighting it again? Did you know that Dino Thunder Cat was going to return? Are you taking somebody else's question? Okay. Did you know that Dino Thunder Cat was going to return as Tommy's wife? But things fell through. They were going to have Kat instead of Elsa, where she would be mind controlled by Mesogog and would be secretly under the Zeltrax armor, similar to Abba Ranger, where the girl in red was the Black Ranger's wife. Kat would have also been the one who helped Tommy with the Dino Thunder powers instead of Haley. Catherine Sutherland had already stopped acting and became a mom, so she couldn't return. So not having Kat was the main reason Tom and Zeltrax rivalry made no sense because of the Sentai footage until I mean, it would have been cool to use Kat. Yeah, it would have been cool. I would have been neat to see. Do you think that if Power Rangers eventually no longer use Super Sentai footage, do you think it could work well, especially the Zords? We know the 2017 movie, many did not like how the Zords looked even as a Megazord. Could be why some diehard fans want Super Sentai footage to continue. Yeah, I do think that it could work easily. It just depends on what type of design you're trying to go for. You know, what was that damn Disney Plus show that I watched? Mech X or something like that. I can't recall off the top of my head, but if anything, I've seen robots do battle fantastically well in original footage and original CGI graphics. So no, I'm not even worried about that at all. I think when it comes to Power Rangers, it just depends on how much money Hasbro wants to put towards their seasons. I think they can create some great Megazords if they certainly wanted to. Let's see here. With Jonathan Entwistle being in charge of Hasbro Power Ranger movie and mature Power Ranger TV series, do you think younger fans, aka kids, will find themselves wanting to watch the adult themed Power Rangers series? Kids these days watch anything online anyways, with or without a parent. Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Unless their parents are gonna stop them. If they're fully aware that there's more Power Rangers out there, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of dabble in it. So it wouldn't surprise me. Johnny Marrero's got a couple questions. He says, are you excited that Simon Bennett is going to be directing episodes of Dino Fury? I am. Yeah, I mean, I am. He's been doing such a great job of show running. I feel like we've even seen some great directors on board Dino Fury so far that have had the opportunity to tell some stories. But yeah, I'm always eager to see Simon Bennett behind the camera once again. So yeah, bring it on. With Power Rangers Fan First Friday around the corner, literally May 14th, what do you think we could expect for it? I hope they announce a new Power Ranger TV show. So going back to some of the things that I expect or I'm kind of hoping and speculating that we see from Fan First Friday, Lightning Collection announcements as always, right? I feel like you can't go through a Hasbro Fan Friday without Lightning Collections. I do want to see the Power Ranger and Reebok shoe collaboration that they're working on. Those shoes are set to release May 15th, the very day after Fan Friday. So if they wanted to promote Reebok and Power Rangers collaboration for shoes, that's a great time to go ahead and do it. I would love to also see more Power Rangers to YouTube announcements, maybe a better understanding as to how they're going to be dropping these episodes. They'll probably announce the idea that Jungle Fury is now up there as well, along with Dino Fury. Maybe they'll let us know the next couple of series that are coming the way, but I am expecting more Power Rangers to YouTube announcements. And then the big news, the big announcements, I am expecting, well, I don't want to say expecting, I am speculating and hoping that we do see here Dino Fury Season 2 moving to Netflix, and then also maybe Hasbro announcing maybe a deal with a particular streaming service for their movie, a movie announcement onto a streaming service. I would be curious if Hasbro has some sort of deal in place that they want to go ahead and announce. Again, a lot of this is just based off of Brian Goldner in his Q1 call last week saying, we gave both the TV series and film. We have both the TV series and film that we'll talk about going to a platform very shortly, was his particular words. And when you say very shortly, what, that was like 2 weeks ago, right? So I'm thinking maybe the Power Ranger show going to Netflix, and maybe a film announcement going to Netflix or a streaming service if there has been a deal made. So those would be some of the announcements I would certainly like to see this time around. Do you think we could still see a new Power Rangers season after Dino Fury from Simon Bennett without Sentai footage? Yes, I do. I think, if anything, listen, I don't know what Hasbro's plan is for the future, but I will say this: Simon Bennett has earned himself more work with Power Rangers, especially when it comes to the kid aspect of things, for sure. I hope Hasbro's paying attention. I really do. Regardless of what their future is, if they still want to do things for kids, television show wise, right? And you want to do it 100% original footage, I have no reason to think that Simon Bennett could not do that. So I hope that they are seeing the massive uproar that is all the excitement for Dino Fury, what he's done when it comes to Beast Morphers, and seeing it just continue to get better with Dino Fury, and maybe bringing Simon Bennett back for more stuff down the line. That's just me keeping my fingers crossed. Doomsday's got a couple questions. Why didn't you like Ninja Steel besides Victor and Monty? I thought the acting was subpar. I thought the storytelling was subpar. I thought it was just very paint by numbers. Some decision makings made me scratch my head a little bit, right? Like, we have a whole entire search for the dad all season long. We find the dad, and then the next season, dad's not even around. Like, why were we looking for this guy in the first place if we weren't even going to want him on the show? There's just a lot of head scratching moments that I'm not the biggest fan of. So yeah, Ninja Steel just and Victor and Monty, obviously, but no, it just wasn't for me. Which Sentai season that you watched in full was your least favorite? Ninja. Ninja right now is probably my least favorite that I've watched in full. What's your favorite top 5 anniversary crossover episodes from Wild Force to Beast Morphers? Ooh, okay. So I did go ahead and pull this up. So, and this is in no particular order, but the 5 that jump out at me, I'm just going to go backwards from current to past. Grid Connection is up there for me. Once a Ranger, the 15th anniversary is up there for me. Forever Red, the 10th anniversary special is up there for me. Definitely To the 10th Power and the Power of Pink. I definitely absolutely love that. And then if I had to pick another one, it's up there between Thunderstorm and Dimensions in Danger. It's up there between those two as far as my 5th one. I kind of go back and forth between those two. So yeah, those would definitely be in my top 5 crossovers. And L'Oreal's got a couple questions. L'Oreal says, what would you think the Power Ranger Reeboks would look like. Oh, I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about it because I know what they look like. Let me go ahead and pull this up for you. If you guys um Power Rangers Reebok. And if you guys haven't had the opportunity to see this collab, this is what is this? Tokusatsu? Yeah, Tokusatsu Network had these pictures up the other day. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys so you can see the collab that I'm talking about here. So here's one of the photos. It's a group shot of them. And these are the yellow kicks right here, based off of Sabretooth. I think these are the ones that come in adult and kid sizes. We also have the blue ones here. These are like for the Triceratops, which I kind of dig these two as like ankle, little low ankle ones, low tops. Then we got the pink ones here, the high tops, which I actually really love this design. I really do. I really love the design of these pink ones. But this is for the pterodactyl, and then of course we got the T-Rex itself here, more like running and workout sneakers. It looks like for the T-Rex. So I don't mind these. I do wish the pink ones came in red, though. I love the design of them for sure. I wouldn't mind having a pair of all these, but I think maybe the only ones in adult sizes might be the yellow ones, but I could be wrong. From what I read in the article last week, I do believe it was just the yellow one. So those are some of the colors. You also say, my pal and I are planning to make Kara Major into Power Rangers. So how'd it be if we called it Power Rangers Crystal Charge? I kind of dig the name of that, actually. I kind of dig the name Power Ranger Crystal Charge. I think you ran that past me once, and I was pretty fond of it then, but I even like it even more. Wouldn't it be cool if Power Rangers had a neurodivergent leader? You know, one of those kids who were said to be on the spectrum of autism or something like that. Definitely differently minded or differently abled can be Rangers too, right? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, we had Billy in the 2017 movie that was on the spectrum, and we saw what he brought to the team as well, right? So just because somebody's on the spectrum of autism doesn't make them any more of a less of a ranger than anybody else. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely do see. I definitely do think we can see more of that in the future for sure. All right, guys. Other than that, I think that's going to go ahead and actually wrap it up for our questions today. So if anything, let me see if I can go ahead and jump into the comment section and see if there's any last minute stragglers that I want to go ahead and bring up. Blossom says, sweet Reeboks. Yeah, not too bad, right? They don't look too bad. Sarav, thank you. Mech X4 was the name of the Disney show. If you guys are curious as to what maybe a live action Power Ranger 100% original footage could certainly look like, I would recommend checking out Mech X4 for sure. I just really enjoyed the uniqueness, the creativity behind it, and I really like the mech the mech design that they wind up having in there also. So I just believe that if they can create something like that, if Disney can put money towards creating something like a Mech X4, I don't see why Hasbro can't put the necessary money towards creating original footage, especially when it comes to Megazords for Power Rangers. I think they could do it. Let's see here. AJ says, remember Legends of White Dragon movie with JDF? I think the script changed. JDF's character is a sweaty officer. Do you think the other actors will do their roles later because of COVID? I'm not quite sure. I believe they're filming though. I think they just made a huge announcement that the actress that's playing Mongol, I think in the Suicide Squad movie, is actually going to be in his movie Legend of the White Dragon. I think they wind up bringing her on board. I think she might be a police officer also, or somebody else on the force, because I believe JDF's character Eric, I think he's like retired or something like that, or he's off the force. I can't quite recall, but I do. I am looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it regardless. Anytime JDF wants to do some karate and put on an armor or suit, I'm there for it. I'll definitely check it out. As far as the other actors, I'm not quite sure. I don't know who else is. I know a lot has changed since it was originally supposed to do it, so I don't know how much it certainly has changed though. DHR2. You heard about David Yost is returning in a Power Rangers fan series. Yeah, we definitely talked about it here several months back on APlus Morphinominal. I'm telling you guys, we definitely cover a ton of news here for you guys. Was it? I think he was creating a fan series. It's supposed to be like a reunion series of sorts. That's supposed to gather the other original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger team together in some way or another. I know he was working on a script. I don't know if he's pitched it to Hasbro as of yet, or if he's just been working on multiple versions of the script to get it right and tight for a presentation or something like that. I think he's calling Quantum something. I can't remember what he was referring it to as, but I think it was like Power Rangers Quantum something. But definitely check it out if you get a chance. He has talked about it openly before in past interviews. It's something I would love to see. I really would. I mean, I feel like we've been kind of transitioning down that path, right? Like there have been a lot of reunion series that have been coming back. Sex in the City. I think Friends did like a special. Same thing with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air doing like these specials. But I would love to see them come back in an actual series. I feel like they're doing that a lot these days. Like shows that used to be popular back in the 80s and 90s are kind of gathering themselves up again and trying to see like, what are our heroes up to these days? Or what are these characters up to these days? So I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Adrian says, would it be cool if Simon Bennett actually watched your live streams under a certain YouTube name? That would be pretty neat. I know he has watched the show before. Whether or not he watches it on a weekly basis, that I don't know. But he has commented very early on when we were doing Dino Fury. He has liked a couple of our reviews. He's even spoke nice things about the reviews that we've done, things like that. So I don't know how much he watches, but I'm pretty sure he's at least dabbled and knows of us at least. So I'll take that. I'll take that. Marcelino is I actually prefer dogs over cats. We're definitely in that same lane then. The Morphin Awards. I like it, Marcelino. I might have to use that. The Morphin Awards. I was thinking the Grid Awards, but I think there's a podcast out there already called the Grid Awards. But maybe the Morphin Awards would be something that we that we start off here once Dino Fury winds up wrapping up. But so my idea in regards to that, though, is to take sort of like my best of for each half of the season. And then at the end, have like each of those be like nominees, right? And then maybe there's a voting process or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to think about how to pull this off. Yusai says, I want to say I'm coming around to Zenkaiger, especially with the introduction of Two Kaiser. Yep, I understand that. I just love seeing characters emote properly, and the Kikai noise just don't give me that. I love their energy. I definitely understand that, Yusai, for sure. I could definitely understand that. And I would agree with you. Like for me, I haven't minded. I've enjoyed some of the episodes, like going through episodes 1 through 5. Some really some enjoyable ones I've taken away from it. Episode 6, I just absolutely hated. But ever since we got the introduction to Two Kaiser and Stay Caesar, it's been on an incline for me. So I'm really looking forward to it. AJ says, I don't remember a ticket puppet in Tokuger. Really? You don't remember? He was the conductor's right-hand man, like literally his right hand. He talked. He was like a monkey. Yusai says your Sixth Ranger is cool. I figured you'd keep it with the females that have been Sixth Rangers on screen. I think Kat as Cat Ranger would be great. Kendall would be dope. Gemma with the personality. Change would be great. I mean, aesthetically speaking, they could all work as they don't share a color with the woman they choose. I might switch the Yellow Ranger that you choose with Zoe, but solid team nonetheless. Yeah. So well, I'm glad that I'm glad that you like some of my selection there. Yeah, I think for me, when I was going into just selecting who it was, one, I wanted to do some color scheme, make sure that they all had their same color scheme. Although when it comes to, I was thinking to myself, oh, I can't have two pinks in there, you know. But then I started thinking to myself, like when I think of Time Force, right? I think of West as a Red Ranger. But I also think of the Quantum Ranger as a Red Ranger also. So I just thought to myself, a Sixth Ranger can also have a multiple similar color scheme. So when I started thinking about that, because I really wanted to put Kimberly in there, but there were other Pink Rangers that I've actually really enjoyed more. So I think when I came to the Sixth Ranger, for me, I wanted to go unique and do something just a little bit different. So that's why I went Ranger Slayer, because I have really enjoyed her in the comic books and just seeing a different side of that Kimberly Hart character, you know? But yeah, Zoe would be a great call too, man. I do love me Zoe. Shout out to Jacqueline Sislowski too. I hope she's doing well. Kamen Rider, what's up, Kamen Rider? Appreciate you coming through. Thank you very much. Kamen Rider says, who is your favorite red and blue ranger duo? If I had to, I'm just thinking right now, Zenkaiger with Joe and Captain Marvelous would probably be my two off the bat. As far as Power Rangers go, probably in space with Andros and TJ. Probably be my favorite duo. Andros and TJ. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another one. That's another great one. You signed Jack and Sky. Those are great. That's another great one. Yeah, the first one that came to mind was definitely Andros and TJ for me. But yeah, Sky and Jack are, yeah, that's pretty impressive. I do like that combination too, Yusa. That's a great call. So yeah, those would probably be my two selections right there. That just right off the bat. For me, the key is, finding the red is great, but finding the blue was a little bit difficult for me. So I really had to think on that one for sure. But you're absolutely right. Sky was a great one. But yeah, my first one that came to mind was Captain Marvelous and Joe from Zenkaiger. I mean, I don't know what else I can do outside of that. All right, guys. Other than that, that's gonna wrap it up for us here today at APlus Morphinominal, guys. So thank you very much for definitely joining us, especially joining us each and every week, guys. Next week, again, we will be having a best of Dino Fury season 1. Part 1, so definitely join us then. We'll definitely be talking more about what happened over at Fan First Friday. Who knows? Maybe come Friday, maybe I'll just do a quick impromptu episode and then talk more about it on Saturday's episode. But definitely go ahead and stay tuned. So we already have 2 topics that we're going to be talking about for next week, and maybe we'll certainly have more for you guys. But other than that, guys, do me a big favor. If you continue to love our content, if you join us for our live streams, do us a favor, hit that thumbs up, that big thumbs up. That like button certainly does go a long way. If you want to support the channel monetarily, if you certainly like, we do have ourselves a Patreon page. You can go ahead and check us out at patreon.com/AplusOpinions. We've got some great exclusive content, early access content, audio versions of all of our shows, access to our Discord community, and a ton more, guys. Go ahead and check it out. You get not only APlus Morphinominals content, but also APlus Hero Report content. If you're a big fan of Marvel, DC, movies, and television as well, we've got a plethora of stuff for you guys to check out. So patreon.com/AplusOpinions, tiers from $1 a month to support the channel, $5 or $10, whatever works for you. But if you can't support us monetarily, you can certainly do so in other ways. hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and of course, hitting that bell notification so that when we do drop brand new videos, you will certainly be notified. And feel free to leave comments at any particular point in time. If you revisit these videos, have other thoughts in regards to some of the articles that we talked about, leaving comments certainly do go a long way as well. But other than that, guys, that's going to do it for us here today. So thank you very much for joining us. We will be back next week. So in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as always, keep it A+. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.